Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance, and here we have an M55 and it's on the east spawn of Airfield and it's being commanded by Turret Demon and battle has commenced. Now, as you probably all know, the M55 is the tier 9 American SPG, famous for having a turret. Which means that obviously it's got a very wide field of fire. Means it can sit in one place and just adjust his aim, and he won't suffer from reticle bloom whilst that target is within the field of fire of the Arty. Okay, he's selecting a position right next door to the sea to fire from. Okay, and he's starting to look for targets, and there's his first victim, I should say. And it's an M46 pattern coming up onto the Temple Mount. He knows where it was last seen. Fires a round in, 8-inch shell. It makes a big hole in the ground. But no, there didn't appear to be an M46 there at the time, which is a pity. We've got an Object 140 there. He should be able to spot if that M46 comes back up onto the Temple Mount. But in the meantime, there is a Leopard 1 over on the little hidden area, or the alcove, with the lookout tower. And that area is used by mini tanks to get spots on the enemy, but there's an AMX-30 there, and he's taking a big chance by coming up there, because they are facing off against an ST-1. And it looks like Turret Demon's trying to get a bead on that AMX, and he splashes him for 270 hit points, 4 critical hits, so that's a decent shot, even though it was only a splash. But we've got a mouse, and he's in heavy alley, and he's up against the rock, and he's taking pot shots, and that Leopard has come up to spy on that lookout tower again, and he's poking through the bushes, and because he's firing, he is being spotted every time. Of course, he's receiving fire as well. He keeps popping back behind the rock. Of course, that won't protect him from an 8-inch shell. If it lands near him, it splashes him and rounds out. And it's a direct hit, it kills him! Takes out the Leopard 1 altogether. Now, we lost that ST-1 that was stopping the AMX from coming up. And there's the mouse. Okay, and he's being quite effective actually in heavy alley at the moment. Rocking backwards and forwards, using the rocks for protection from hiding his lower plates. The Martian and the Conqueror are staying a little way off, but the mouse has been taken out. He was taken out by an SDRV-103B. Okay, so the Conqueror and the Martian are having to move up to take the position of the mouse. And in the meantime, Turret Demon is looking to put shells into the Martian next. He's lining up a shot, dialing in the aim. Okay, rounds out. And it lands next door to the Martian. Big divot in the ground. And yep, the Martian suffered 228 hit points of damage from the splash. And has got a big stun on him right now. Okay, he's backed off a little. But there's the Conqueror. There's the Martian. Now, can he get another round into him? He's almost loaded. Takes time to reload the 8-inch howitzer. Okay, he's loaded. Rounds out. And it goes in. 317 hit points and 2 critical hits this time, including tracking the Martian in place. And a Tortoise has come up onto Temple Mount. See the M46 that came up earlier, and the Wizzy 111. Okay, 2/3 of the way through the reload. Now it looks like he's going to go for the tanks defending the south area. It's a difficult aim because they're on the reverse side of a slope, but the round's out. Oh, and it takes out the pattern completely. 467. He wasn't aiming at the pattern. He was aiming at the Wizzy 111. But the Patton just moved straight into the path of the shell, and an 18-inch howitzer just ripped him apart. There's nothing left of that Patton now except a smouldering wreck. Okay, the Maltians coming back again to Heavy Alley. Now he's using the mouse wreck as a protection from his lower plate. He's lost most of his hit points. He's only got about a quarter of them left. But the enemy team is doing... It's not too badly, actually, considering they're one tank up at the moment. Okay, he's looking to get the Maltian as he backs in there, and the round's out. Ooh, it overshot. It hit the wall behind the Maltian, but reflected some of the force onto him, so he got 36 hit points of splash there. Okay, the Maltian's turning round. It looks like he's having a lot of trouble trying to turn, so he may have lost his driver. And there's an STRV 103 in there as well. And Stritzfan wedges can be very, very dangerous. The enemy is now 2 tanks ahead. Now, Turret Demon fires them around. It almost lands almost on the same spot the previous round landed on. But we've lost sight of the Maltian altogether now. He can't have gone very far if he's lost his driver. But no, we've got no sight of him. In fact, the only one we can see at the moment is the Wizzy 120. We've lost the tanks that are on the South Assault. And that means that may be a problem, because it may mean that that Wizzy 111 that was down in the south is headed east this time towards Turret Demon's cap. And if they do come up that way, Turret Demons can see them. There is a Death Star nearby. They may catch a glimpse of the Wizzy as he goes past. But we now can see the Maltian, the Conqueror, and the Wizzy 120. And there's the STRV. And an enemy Arty has been spotted. Right, Turret Demon's going to go for him first. He is the most dangerous of the opponents, and he's been taken out. He was destroyed by the Waffenträger. Auf Panzer IV. Okay, AMX-30. A splash should be able to take him out. And it does. Yes, 37 hit points. And there's a Wizzy 111. And in fact, actually, he's come up from the south. And a splash can probably take him out too. But a direct shot from the Death Star is what deals with him. And there's the Stritzfarm 103 again. These are really dangerous, those wedges. Oh, that was an ammo rack. That was an ammo rack going up. Yep, the Wizzy 120 went up explosively after he was taken out by the Waffenträger Auf Panzer IV. And that round, unfortunately, went right into the rock face. It was a very narrow aim right over the top of that rock. So unfortunately, that shell would have done no damage at all. Okay, we're now equal on scores, but the enemy do have 2 heavies. Whereas Turret Demon's side has 2 tank destroyers, a medium and an Arty. And of course the Warriors, the enemy's got that Stritzfarm 103. Now we can't see the Conqueror or the Maltian at the moment. They're just trying to spot at the moment. The Waffenträger's moving about. Can't see anything yet. Might be a good idea for them to fall back a bit. Try and draw the enemy into a kill zone. Oh, there's the Conqueror. He's been spotted. But he's, unfortunately, Turret Demon can't get at him. There's a red line over the rock. And that means he would hit the rock before he hits the Conqueror. Oh, and a big hit goes in there on the Waffenträger. And there's the SCRV. He's gone off. He's retreated to the rear to try and draw the Waffenträger and company into a trap, and it looks like they've been able to do that. They've been able to get some damage into the Waffenträger. Oh, Turret Demon fires in on the Stritzfarm. We don't know who did any damage, but we lost Waffenträger in that moment. The Conqueror took him out. So it's 3 against 4 at the moment. We have a pretty good idea where the Stritzfarm 103 is, somewhere around about these rocks. And he's obviously going to want to be in a position that he can lay fire down on the Death Star. And Turret Demon is firing into that area. And we can't see... Oh, there he is! So unfortunately that was a wasted shell. The SDRV has moved. But Turret Demon's indicating his target. It's going to again be a very difficult shot over the top of the rock to try and hit the Stritzfarm. But then obviously that SDRV is going to move out to fire. He has to. So he's now aiming where he thinks the SDRV is going to appear. And he's going to fire into that position. Of course, he could appear at the other side of the rock. But he's going to fire around in there anyway. Oh, it hits the rock face. Oh, that's annoying. That's RNG, I'm afraid. That's the second shell we've had go astray from RNG. Now his attention's being drawn to something in the rear. Now it could be the SCRV has actually gone into the rear without being spotted. He's quickly hopped around. There's the Malshan. Now we can put a shell into him, and a splash would probably be enough to finish him off. Rounds out. Now that did land near where he was supposed to be, but it didn't kill him. Okay, it looks like Turret Demon was thinking about moving, but yes, the Malshan is taken out. He was stunned, but he was taken out by the MX-30. So he picked up some stun assists. Now it's 3 versus 3. And some of the other players are indicating to the south, and others are indicating to the northeast. They think the Stritzfarm may have gone around. There's the Stritzfarm. Yeah, he did go around. He went around to the south. And he's coming up behind the AMX and the Death Star. And that means that Turret Demon's going to have to move, because he hasn't got a direct shot on that SCRV. He's got a red line. That rock's in the way. So he's going to have to expose himself and get really close. Oh, and they just lost the Death Star. Now, can he get this Conqueror? Rounds out. No, it overshoots. Oh, but it stuns the Conqueror. But he cancels the stun straight away using his first aid kit. That is really difficult now, because it's 3 against 2. Oh, it's 3 against 1 now. I'm afraid Turret Demon is on his own. They just took out the AMX-30. So it's only him left. He's going to have to go shotgun and try and take on these enemy one by one. But remember that the M55 has got a long reload, and he's still loading. He has loaded now. He shoots and he takes out the Conqueror. 90 hit points. But he's now in reload. He was taking an awful risk there, because he was spotted. And there's the Stritzfarm. Oh, he's coming down. He's going to siege mode to fire. Oh, and no. Taken out. Oh, dear. Well, it was a valiant try by Turret Demon. 4 kills. But no, it wasn't enough. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Well, he picked up a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, crew incapacitations or module damage. He got 14 in that battle. And he picked up a fighter badge because he got at least 4 kills. In fact, that's exactly what he got, 4 kills. It was a good try right to the end, especially that last shot on the enemy AMX-30. But it just wasn't enough, I'm afraid, especially with a long reload on the M55. Yeah, he came mid-table when it came to damage with 2,141 hit points. But he came top of the table when it came to kills with 4. And he managed to get 498 base XP, which puts him 3rd. He fired 17 rounds, got 3 direct hits, 3 penetrations, 12 splash, damage of 2,141 hit points, of which 2,051 were at more than 300 meters. He received 1 hit, 1 penetration from the SDRV. He hit 8 of the enemy and destroyed 4 of them. He also did stun assistance damage of 514 hit points off 11 stuns. On a premium account, he earned 27,293 credits, but he did have a personal reserves bonus going, so he earned an extra 13,647 credits, and that brings his total to 40,940. But because he had to repair his vehicle and the shells for the 8-inch howitzer are rather expensive, I'm afraid he took away a loss of 10,705 credits overall on the battle. But he did earn XP of 747, and the personal reserves gave him an additional 747, so he took away 1,494 experience points in total. So good try there, Turret Demon. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be. Several of your shots missed because of RNG, and you say RNG is broken. Yep, they did go astray, and they shouldn't have, but that's the way that the game plays sometimes. Your shots go where they're not supposed to go and not where you're aiming them. But nice try anyway. If you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay I'll be featuring in the next video.